Okay, let me record the session and let me share the screen. So is it clear, guys? Any doubts, any issues? Is it clear? Okay, so bulk admin by default, it will have two permissions. One is add member to bulk admin. Bulk insert means a member of this bulk admin role. See, we can add logins to the server roles. Okay, we have database roles also. Server roles are server level principals. Database roles are database level principals. We can add logins to the server role. In the same way, what principals we can add to the DBA role, database roles? Okay, can anyone tell me the answer? See, logins, server roles, both are database level principals. Users, database roles, both are database level principals. We can add logins to the server role. In the same way, what principals we can add to the database role? Users. Very good. We can add users to the database. So don't confuse here. Okay, in the interview they are going to confuse you. Users are logins, users are logins. They'll keep on asking the same. Okay, so don't confuse. There is a difference in the login and the user. Login is a server level principal, user is a database level principal. Okay, you can add logins to the server roles, you can add users to the database roles. I'll show you. Okay, don't worry about it. So a member of this bulk admin can do two things. One is, if I added Joshi to the bulk admin role, Joshi can add another login into the bulk admin role. That is one thing she can do. Next thing is bulk insert. Joshi can do bulk insert operations. Now, can anyone tell me the answer other than bulk admin? Who can do these two things?
Sysadmin.
Very good, excellent. Sysadmin. Sysadmin can do anything, right? So in case in the future, if I ask the question who can do these things, your answer should be sysadmin. Sysadmin can do anything. Okay, so by default, if I added Joshi to bulk admin role, okay, now Joshi can do two things. One is Joshi can add another login into the bulk admin role, only bulk admin role. She can't add into another role. Why? Because she's a member of bulk admin. She can add any other login, like with grant option. She can add any other login to the bulk admin role. And she can also do bulk inserts. Bulk inserts means there are two definitions for bulk inserts. Bulk, you know, right? Bulk orders and all means huge quantity. If you are like inserting huge number of transactions, that is also bulk insert. Or else if you are inserting data from outside sources, from Excel sheet to SQL Server, from Notepad to SQL Server, from CSV file to SQL Server, from other RDBMS software to SQL Server, that is also called bulk insert operations. Okay, so in case, say for example, we have a requirement. Okay, lot of requirement is there for bulk insert. He can only do bulk insert. I decided to give only bulk insert permission to him. So what I did, I didn't give any permissions to him. Simply I'll create a login. I'll add that login to bulk admin role so that he can do only bulk operations, bulk inserts. He cannot do any other things. How to add Joshi to bulk admin role? Can anyone tell me? I want to add Joshi to bulk admin role. How to add it? There are two ways actually. Can anyone tell me at least one way? I want to add a login to bulk admin role. How can I do that?
Yes, you can go to right click on Joshi.
Right click on Joshi. Sorry for that. I will double click. Okay, for you, I'll double click. Yeah,
Mapped it.
mapped user mapping. Okay,
That is
In upper one server roles.
okay, okay. Server
yes,
roles.
server roles.
Okay,
Give me bulk. Here is there.
very good. Okay, so in this way, I can add any login to a particular role. Okay, double click on it. Go to server roles. Simply, which login you want to add? Double click on that login. Okay, go to server roles. Then on to which role you want to add that particular login, select that role and click OK. Automatically now Joshi is a member of bulk admin. Okay, now Joshi is a member of bulk admin. Clear? There is another way also. Okay, so how to do that? Go to roles, bulk admin role, double click on it, or go to right click, properties of this bulk admin role, members, right? See, Joshi is already added. In case if she is not added, okay, imagine remove it. I just removed for the practice purpose. Add, type Joshi, check names. Okay, Joshi came, click OK. You can click OK. So in this way also you can add Joshi to bulk admin role. Okay, so what will be the next role? DB creator. Can anyone tell me by the name what a DB creator can do? Just tell me one permission of DB creator. By the name, it is saying, the name itself is saying what it is going to do.
We can create a
Create
database.
some update. Create some
Very good,
database.
excellent. You're all excellent guys, I know. Okay, fine. So before adding Joshi to the DB creator role, what I'll do, I'll open a query window from Joshi. I'll create a database. Create database. Okay. What is the movies? I'll create a movies database. Okay. Can I run this query now?
No,
Can
sir.
I? Why?
No,
She didn't have any permission.
Very good. Joshi doesn't have permissions. Okay. So if I run this query, I'll get the error. Create database permission is denied. Okay. So let me go to this role. Okay. DB creator, right? Let me explain. Okay. Let me show you how many permissions are there for this role. Okay. How many permissions are there?
8.
8 permissions are there. 8 records, 8 permissions. Okay. So by default, this permission is common. What is that permission? If I add Joshi to DB creator, she can add any other login to DB creator role. By default, every role will have this permission, guys. Remember that one. Joshi can, I mean, like a login, a member of DB creator can alter the database, can create the database, can drop the database, can extend, can restore database, can restore the log file of the database, can rename the database. Okay. Okay. So by default, a member of DB creator can do these 8 things. One is it can add another login to the DB creator role. Okay. And the other things are like a member of DB creator can alter the database, can create the database, can drop the database, can extend the database, can restore the database, restore log. So as of now, I'll show you create database. Okay. So earlier, if you run this query, it throws error like create database is denied. Now let me go to security. Let me go to Joshi, double click on Joshi. Let me go to server roles. Let me add Joshi to DB creator. Let me click OK. Now let me run this query. Right now, command completed successfully. And if you see here, and if you just refresh, you can see the new database movies. Okay, so again, Joshi can drop the database also. What is the query to drop the database? Drop database name. Okay, Joshi can run this also. And if you refresh it, and movies is dropped. Okay, there is no movies database. Okay, Joshi can alter the database also. Joshi can rename the database also. Joshi is a member of DB creator, right? So she can do all these things, right? This is all about your DB creator. Let's go with another role. What is that role? Disk admin. Okay, so disk admin we don't use. See guys, don't think all objects are used by the DBA team. Okay, we are going to use the maintenance related objects only. Some of the objects we don't use, guys. Okay, so like this disk admin also we don't use. So what disk admin will do? Disk initialization, Windows, disk level permissions and all. Okay, so it can add, of course, any member is a member of disk admin can add other member, other login to the disk admin role. Disk initialization, add dump device, drop devices and all. Some devices will be there, backup devices and all, in case you want to handle those devices and all. So usually it can be that particular person can be a member of the disk admin. Usually we never use this role. Okay, so let me go to the process admin. I'll explain process admin, then I'll close the session for today. Okay, process admin will take some time. So process admin also very important admin permission. role. Okay, so process admin is having two permissions. One is of course a default permission. If you are a member of process admin, you can add another member into the process admin role. That is one permission. Second permission is kill. What is this kill, guys?
In the blocked sessions, we can kill the command, some of the commands.
Very good, excellent. So sometimes there are some scenarios you have to kill the sessions. First of all, we will understand what is meant by session, how to see the sessions. Okay, so let's discuss those things. So usually, what are these numbers, guys? 61, 52, 55. What are these numbers?
Section IDs.
What are those numbers?
Section IDs.
Not section ID, session ID. Session, not section.
Yeah. Session.
Okay, session. Okay, session or process. Session or process, both are same. Process IDs, session ID, anything you can call. Okay, right. So, right, I want to see what and all sessions that are running in SQL Server. Okay, I want to, these are very important, guys. So usually we can use a query called sp_who2 will help
Who2.
you to find out
Yeah.
all the processes that are running in a SQL Server. Okay, so how many processes are running? Can anyone tell me?
57.
Very good, excellent. 57 rows. Okay, if you see here 57 rows, 57 processes are currently running. Why? Because we cannot, every time we cannot see like this. Okay, now the list is small, you can drag and drop. Okay, but sometimes 1000 plus sessions will be there. Again, you cannot drag till the end of the session and you cannot check this number. You can simply check how many records are there, that many sessions are there. Remember, guys, in these 57 sessions, sessions up to 1 to 50 are background sessions. Up to 1 to 50 are background sessions. You cannot kill these background sessions. So first of all, why? What is the need of killing the session? I'll tell you. Sometimes we'll get the blockings and all. One query is blocked by another query. One session is blocked by another session. In such case, if it keeps blocking, we have to kill the blocking sessions. Okay, we have to kill the blocking sessions. How to kill any session? You can use kill query. I want to kill 51. Okay, I can use kill query, kill 51. Which session you want to kill? You can use that session ID. See here, SPID means a session ID. You cannot kill. Say for example, I want to kill 48. Okay, let me type 48. So can I kill it?
No.
I cannot kill it. Only user processes can be killed. Okay, so from which session user processes will start? From 51 onwards. Okay, from 51 onwards. So you can kill the sessions from 51. In case you want to kill 51, you can kill 51. Okay, so that the session will be killed. Okay, now if you run again, you cannot see 51. Earlier it is 57, right? Now it is 56, and you don't see 51 session now. Okay, so sp_who2 is very important stored procedure. Okay, to find out the sessions that are currently running in the SQL Server, to find out the blockings in the SQL Server, to find out who are running those sessions in the SQL Server. Okay, login name, under login name you can see here Joshi is running one session. If I want to kill Joshi session, what is the query? I want to kill Joshi session. What is the query for that?
52.
Very
Kill
good.
52.
Kill 52.
Kill
Excellent.
52.
That's it. Excellent. Okay. Kill 52. Why? Because Joshi is running under 52 session. You can see here. This is Joshi session. You can see here Joshi in the brackets. You can see the name Joshi. This is also Joshi session, and 61 is also Joshi session. See here. Lot of Joshi sessions are there. 52 is a Joshi session, and 59 is Joshi session, and 61 is also a Joshi session. Okay. What is the need of killing the sessions? First of all, I told you, right? So in case if any blockings are there, there are some scenarios you have to kill the sessions. Okay, sometimes if the query is taking longer time, since 10 hours it is running, since 24 hours it is running, since 2 days it is running, in such case you have to kill the sessions. So who are all can kill any sessions? Who are all can kill the sessions?
DBS.
DBS only. I agree,
Yeah.
but they should have some privileges, right?
Yeah.
Who are
Without
all?
without permission, without application team permission, we can't kill the
No.
sessions.
Forget about the permissions. Okay, who can kill the sessions?
System
Process
admin.
admin,
Process admin and
privileges.
sysadmin.
Excellent. Process admin and sysadmin. Process admin, a member of process admin and a member of sysadmin can kill the sessions. No other persons. A member of bulk admin cannot kill my session. A member of DB creator cannot kill my session. A member of process admin or a member of sysadmin can kill my sessions. Okay, so usually there are some scenarios. Sometimes users only will ask us, hey, please kill my session. Okay, or else sometimes we have to kill their sessions due to performance issues and all if it is taking longer than expected. In such scenarios, we have to kill the sessions. And again, we can use as
Small doubt. Yeah, here where we can see that how much longer query is running.
Here we
Can we
cannot
see
see.
that?
Here we cannot see. There is a special query called sp underscore who is active. Okay, this is the stored procedure. This won't be there by default. You won't get the stored procedure. You have to download a code for this from Google and you have to run that code which will create sp underscore who is active. It will shows you lot of things. It will shows you since how many hours the query is running, what query is running, who is running, how much percentage is completed, how much, what is the estimation time, how much CPU utilization, how much memory utilization, how much disk IO, how much reads, how many writes, what are the wait infos. Lot of things you can get using this sp underscore who is active. Okay, so for this you have to create a customized stored procedure. You can download this query from the Google and you have to run that script. Then it will create a sp underscore who is active. That will tell you since how many hours a query is running.
For running this script, we have to take any permission from
Yes,
our
yes,
team
yes,
lead or
yes,
something.
yes, we have to take permissions. Okay, so usually 70% organization they will create this stored procedure. If there is no stored procedure, suggest them. We can create sp underscore who is active so that we can track each and every session since how many hours they are running, how much percentage is completed. We can track it. So in case if you selected for a startup companies, okay, in case if they don't have sp underscore who is active, you can suggest them. Okay, but again,
If it was already created, then we can use it, right?
yeah, we can
Without
happily
asking
use it.
any
Just
permission.
yeah, nothing. Simply type this sp underscore who is active. If it is created, you will get the output. If it is not created, you will get the output
Yeah,
like
if it
this.
was created, then its color will be changed, right, to dark
You will
brown.
get the output.
Or,
No. The color won't be changed. Why? Because these are the user stored procedures, not default stored
okay,
procedure.
okay,
Color will be black only. Okay,
okay,
and you will get the output table. You will get. I'll show you the
okay.
example also. I'll show you the example also. Google sp underscore who is active. See here like this, you can see the output. Okay. Since how many hours the query is running, what is the session ID? In SQL test column, you can see the query, what query they are running. Okay. You can see in the SQL text column. If you can see any query here, you just click on that query. It will open in another tab and you can see the whole query. Who is running that particular session? What are the wait infos? How much CPU it is taking? What are the temp DB allocations? How many reads? How many writes? We have other columns also. We will have almost 20 to 25 columns will be there. How much percentage is completed? In case if backups are running in the SQL server, we can check using sp underscore who is active. How much percentage of backups completed? How much percentage of restores are completed? how much percentage of DBCC check DB is completed, how much percentage of shrink file is completed. A lot of users are there with with SPN score who is active stored processor. Very useful stored processor. You can suggest, okay? You can suggest them. If you don't find, if you have, just simply run it, okay? You will get the output. If already stored processor is created, if not created, then you can ask them why we didn't create this stored processor. Just you can suggest them. We can create it right like that. You can suggest them. Okay, right? So what we are discussing, process admin. Okay, process admin by default it will have two permissions. One is add member to process admin. Second one is kill permissions. A member of process admin can kill the sessions. How to see the sessions? You can use sp_who2, or there is another query also, select query, select star from sys.sys processes. Okay, there is one more query, select query. You can run this query also. Here also you can see these are the session IDs and blocked. In case if any blockings are there, you can see under blocked column, and wait type. Okay, how much on what database they are running. Okay, and you can see here how much CPU it is taking. Okay, login time, start time, end time, everything you can see under this, which command they are running. You can see small command, whether it is a select query, select command, whether it is a insert query, insert command, just like this. You cannot see the whole command. In the SPN score who is active, you can see the whole script. If they are running 100 lines of script, you can see all 100 lines of script, all script you can see. Okay, so like this you can see there is another query, select queries, select star from sys.sys processes to see the processes that are running in SQL Server. The stored procedure is sp_who2 to see all the sessions that are running. Okay, both will give you a sessions information only. Okay, one will give you a basic information, second one will give you a detailed information. That's it. Okay, clear? So a member of process admin can kill the sessions.
Here, what is KPID, sir?
Actually, we will
SPID.
have, yeah, SPID, a subsequent KPIDs will be there for sessions. Okay, child sessions, child processes we can call. Okay, so KPIDs means child processes. We cannot kill KPIDs and all, we can only kill SPIDs. Okay, right? Fine. Any questions? I'll stop the session now. Why? Because security, I know you will face a lot of difficulties in understanding the things. So I'll stop the session now. In case of any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll meet. Yeah, tell me. No problem.
For suppose in the middle of the time, Joshi will before Joshi will have only one permission, is the server role permission. One is there, that is bulk admin. In the middle of the time, Joshi will ask, sir, give me permission to sysadmin. We can directly give the permission.
No. We cannot. Yesterday we discussed it, right? We have to take the we can give it, but we should have proper approvals. I will ask Joshi, what is the need of the sysadmin for you? Okay, no need to provide justification for me. At least she has to provide the business approval. Her manager has to approve. Okay, you can provide sysadmin to Joshi. What is the problem for us? If they are approving, we are here to execute their orders, right? So we'll simply give sysadmin to Joshi when, if you have proper approvals, then only we can give sysadmin to Joshi. You cannot tell to manager, no, I will not give sysadmin. Sysadmin can do anything. You cannot argue with him. If our manager approved the requirement, you can give the sysadmin to Joshi.
Yeah, small doubt.
Yes.
In group logins is there, right?
Yes.
If new database is created, then means so we have to add the databases to that group logins, or what to have to gain access.
Actually, it depends. See, for example, you can give group login to sysadmin role. Okay, where is the group login security, right? Security logins, group login. Okay, go to the group again. There is no different way of giving permissions to group login, like how I am giving. In the same way, I have to go to server role. In case if I want to add group login to bulk admin, I can give bulk admin. In case I want to add this group, this is a SQL DBA group, right? It should be SQL as sysadmin, right? So in case if I give sysadmin, okay, later if any new database is also created, okay, nothing to do from our side, automatically it can access the whole server, right? Later in the future, if any new database is created, no need to give separate permissions to this group on the database. Automatically, the group of people can access the newly created databases. Nothing to do from our side.
Okay. And for this creating the user and all, the task will be raised, right? I
Yes,
think.
yes, yes.
Task request.
Yes, yes.
Usually, how many days you have to complete that request? Like,
This is, see, task request will have time. Okay, usually how much time it will take, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but depends upon your work pressure. You can complete in 1 day or 2 days, but if there is a urgent requirement, they will ask us to complete as early as possible, so you can complete it. Usually a task can be completed in 1 or 2 days. Incidents can be look into it very quickly. Task can be completed in 1 or 2 days. Sometimes people, they will keep the task with them for 10 days, 15 days, 20 days also. Okay, might be some blockings are there. Say for example, some user comes to us, hey, please create a Windows login for me. Okay, so what is the blocking here? What is the blocking here? First of all, a user has
that
to be
Windows
created.
user.
Yeah. First of all, the
Yeah.
Windows user, we have to route them. Hey, please raise a ticket for Windows team. They will create a separate account for you. Once they created account, let me know. Then I am going to create a Windows login for you. He will raise a task for the Windows team. Like how he raised it for SQL team, he will raise it for Windows team. Windows team may complete in a day. Windows team may take 10 days. Till then they are going to complete. We cannot complete our task, right? Once they created that particular user in the Windows level or Active Directory level, then only we can complete it. So might be sometimes there are some situations, some blockings, roadblocks will be there, which may take time to complete the tasks. Usually you can take 1 or 2 days to complete the task.
In a task request, they will be mentioning like you have to create login in this
They
server
won't
and you
mention.
have to map.
They usually, a good person will mention usually. Okay, but some people, they won't mention anything. Simply, I want to access this table. They don't mention a server name, they don't mention the database name. Simply they will create it. So you have to be very careful in dealing these kind of requests. You have to ping him, or you have to send an email which server you are looking for permissions, on which database, what kind of permissions you need. Everything we have to ask clearly, and everything we have to get it approved from his manager, then only you can give it.
Yeah, means which roles we have to add and all also we
They
have
won't
to
tell
ask.
us. Mostly we won't add roles, guys, but we have to know the role. Okay, mostly. Why?
Okay.
Because usually the requirements will be different. Okay, in the organization, requirements will be different. We have separate role. User roles are there, user specified roles are there, or customized roles are there. These are the fixed roles, guys. Okay, what is the problem with this? You cannot add or delete any permission to this role. Bulk admin, bulk inserts only can do. No, I'll add one more permission to bulk admin. You cannot add permissions to bulk admin, or you cannot remove existing permissions from bulk admin. Okay, that is fixed. That's why we are going to call those roles are fixed server roles. You cannot change the permissions for fixed server roles. Okay, there are some customized server roles also there. You can create a role with your own permissions. Then in such cases, we'll create customized roles. Okay, for developers, they will give us the script. We will execute that script. It will create a customized role. Whatever permissions they need, we can group all the permissions and we can create a role. Simply, if they are looking for the same kind of permissions, we'll add that particular login into that customized role. Customization is also there in the server roles. Okay, so usually we don't, 99% we don't use this fixed server roles, guys. We don't use it, but you have to learn. This is the basic concept. You have to learn it. Once you understood this fixed server role, then you can understand the customized server role also. Okay, clear?
Then they will ask us to add into
Hmm.
the server role. Then we will
Yes.
add, right?
Yes. If it is customized server role,
Okay.
they will ask us.
Okay.
Why? Because we know what DB creator will do, what bulk admin will do. The developers don't know, right? What is meant by role, what is meant by DB creator, what is meant by disk admin. They don't know it, so they don't ask like that. Please add me into this role. In case if he has some good knowledge, sometimes he will ask us. In case if we don't have knowledge, simply they will ask, I need permissions on this, I need permissions on this. Based on his requirement, we are going to provide permissions either on database level or table level. Okay, any questions, any doubts?
SQL Server logins also there, group logins.
No. There is no group login concept for SQL logins. Only for Windows login, group login concept is there. Any questions? Right? Okay. Then if no questions, we'll meet on the next Friday, 7:30. Okay. We'll discuss about the other pending server roles and customized server roles and DB roles. After that, I'll start, okay, orphan users, how to find orphan users, how to fix orphan users. With that note, we'll close the security. By next weekend, we'll close the security. Okay. If you don't start practice, at least try to start practice. Okay. Don't ignore the practice and all. Fine.
Sir,
Yes.
encryption is not there in this, like authentication, authorization and encryption is also there, right? But we didn't get a topic yesterday.
Forget about it. Encryption. See, we are in the beginning. Okay.
Okay.
Encryption is not part of the security. Okay. Yesterday we were busy with all the topics, right? Where is the time to explain encryption? First of all, there is a process, there is a sequence. We have to follow the sequence order. Okay. If I explain directly encryption, you may understand, other people cannot understand, right? There is a way. So we'll go as per that particular sequential order. Okay. Yeah. Any questions? Any doubts? Okay, fine. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Good night. Okay, so we'll meet on the next Friday at 7:30 p.m. Okay, thank you all. Bye.
Okay, good night, sir. Bye bye. Take
Good
care.
night. Bye. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
good night. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.